All right, Dr. Barron here again. And so in this video, we're going to kind of put all of our little tricks that we've found here together and see where we can go. Now this one's going to be a little more freeform, this video. I mean, I don't have a set plan for what I'm going to do, but we're going to kind of put all those same tools together. And this time, we're going to make a little more customized house. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this box right in the middle. I'm going to set the size however I want. And for this, I'm just going to drag it. And then I'm going to say, no, I want it 36 millimeters wide. Okay. I like the depth, the 20 millimeters. I think that's pretty good. I like the fact that it's 20 millimeters tall. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the roof to it. Bring that in here. Now, once again, we said it was 36 millimeters wide, so I'm going to stretch that out. Get it close. Just type it in and get it right. I got to bring it up high. And looks like, oh, I just went a little too far, so I'll go ahead and just change that to 20. And now I'm just going to use the arrow keys. If you want, you can just grab a hold of it and drag it over, but sometimes it's hard to be exact. Now, I actually got it that time, but sometimes you can't. So, oh, and I didn't actually. See how it's hanging off the back here? Well, you know what? Roofs usually do hang off. So how about I actually drag it a little bit wider this way so it sticks off a little bit there and make it just a touch wider. Let's put it right in the center. And so now we've got a roof just like a normal house. It sticks off the edge. That way when it rains, the rain pours off the side, right? Okay. But we also want to make sure the inside is hollow. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click copy. I'm going to click paste. I'm going to move it over so it's right where it needs. Well, not yet. I'm going to wait to do that. I'm going to change it since we know this guy is 36 millimeters by 20 millimeters. I want this one to be, I'm going to say 34 millimeters by 18 millimeters. Now, if you hadn't guessed this already, I'm doing them 2 millimeters shy on either dimension, on either side, or 2 dimensions total. That way I end up with a little gap of 1 millimeter on either side. But for the height, I just want to be 1 millimeter shorter. So instead of 20, I'm going to change it to 19. That's just the way I'm doing it. It's not the way you have to do it, but that way, in case you're wondering where I got those numbers from, that's how I'm doing it. That way the roof is 1 millimeter tall and all the walls are 1 millimeter thick. I want to see if it's centered. I'm going to click here, use my little indicator over here, and look from the bottom and say, oh, well, it's not centered yet. Okay, looks pretty good now. So let's combine all these things and see what we get. Click group. And now we've got a house. Uh-oh, what did I forget? Well, I forgot to make the box on the inside a hole. So if I hit the undo button right here, it takes everything back apart. From the bottom, I can click on the bottom one, which is sometimes is hard because I can't quite get it because I'm picking the big one. Sometimes you just click a few times. If you can't, you can move it over and just remember to move it back later. Okay? So I've clicked on it. I'm going to click on the hole button right here. Now I'm going to click back on this one, move it back to where it was. Don't want to forget to do that. And now I'm going to highlight everything, click on group, and let's see what we've got. What do you know? We've got a nice little house that's hollowed out on the inside. It's got a solid roof on top. But you know, let's take this a little bit farther and let's add a door. To add a door, I'm going to bring this guy in here. I'm going to make it quite a bit smaller and shorter. You pick the size, the dimensions, however big you want it to be. And now I'm just going to move this over right to the middle of the house or right around the middle. I'm going to look from the bottom. I can use this if I want. And move it down so that it's this box, this hole is overlapping with the wall. It doesn't matter if it sticks out on both sides. That's okay. There we go. And so now what I can do is I can hover over top, hit group again, and there we go. I've got a house with a door right there. Okay, you can take that and go lots of different directions with that. One more thing I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to make this doorway an arch shape, okay? Just to show you one more shape that we haven't practiced with. Here's this. Now, what did I do before is I changed the dimensions to that door to be 4 millimeters wide. If you don't remember, I can always click on this, click on ungroup, and it's going to ungroup the last thing I did. It's not going to ungroup everything unless I click on it again and just click on this object. But I can click on this and I can say, oh, it's 4 millimeters wide. So click on this one, click here. Let's change this to 4 millimeters. We don't need it this thick, right? Let's just change this to 4 millimeters too. And then lastly, you can make it as tall as you want. I'm just going to bring it down until it looks about right. Okay? And so now what I need to do is I need to bring this right over top of the door. But I also don't want to forget, let's make it hollow. And now we're going to use that arrow like we did before to bring it up. And I'm going to set it right on top of that door. Do you see where it's setting on top of there? And I'm going to move it inside the house so that it's through the wall. And now I'm going to combine all of these. There we go. So the difference here is that it's just a doorway, but it's a little bit different shaped doorway. Okay? So that's just to show you that you've got all these other shapes that you can create whatever you want. You can create solid objects, or you can simply click on them and make them a hole by clicking on that button. And of course, what if we want to change the color of our house? Let's go ahead and change it. There's our house. All right, so for this video, I want you to be creative. I want you to add a door, add some windows, do whatever you want. Go ahead and make this house just the way you want to make it.